Hello and welcome to my video for Why the New International Version. Before I begin, which actually I'm going to be reading an excerpt out of my New International Life Study Application Bible on how the New International Version came to be. But first, I'd like to, my first video that I put out was the introduction video, which I'm going to tell you a funny story, but at the tail end of the introduction video, I do my own rendition of Tiffany's I Think We're Alone Now, because the story on how I got my Bible is very interesting, and it just kind of popped in my head. I kind of replaced the lyrics and it popped in there, and I was like, let's make it interesting, and I'll go ahead and wing it and put that out there. But anyway, I was in a hotel room, which I'm in a hotel room now for the next couple days, but I was recording it, and when I walked out of my room, my neighbor, the neighboring room, the room right next door, the guy came out holding his ice bucket at the same exact time I walked out. He kind of looked at me like with these eyes that said, "I just heard you do a Tiffany song." And I was like, "Eek!" I was like a deer stuck in headlights, like caught in headlights. Like I was just, "Hi." This is awkward. And I just kind of, shuffled toward the elevator. So I didn't record anymore that day, but I'm doing this. And that's another thing, too, that I noticed off my introduction video is I think I said 17 or 18 times or something like that. So from now on, when I have kind of a lapse and forget what I'm talking about, I think I have maybe a slight touch of ADD. But if I do that, I'm going to try to use a different word than like maybe bunny or something like that. But now into the video of why the New International Version. And if you're watching this and you haven't watched any of my other videos, and you're wondering why the black screen, and by all means, the introduction video has all that good stuff in it. It covers about all the bases because it's a 17-minute video. But it's, I would like to think that's worth listening to because it goes over all that stuff. And I said, again. Anyway, I'm going to read this, and I'm going to try to make this as entertaining as possible. I really don't want to be, like, I had already recorded 3 videos, and I actually, I did, again. Ugh. Anyway, I recorded 3 videos, and I erased them because I wasn't satisfied with them. I thought that I should be more myself, because I have a very distinct personality. And when I'm just reading in a monotone and I sound like I've got a prompter in front of me, then I don't think that that's going to hold everyone's interest and make them want to come back. And my hope and my mission is that hopefully people will listen to these videos and share them with friends and family so that it can actually get out there to the masses a bit more. I know that one of my hurdles to overcome is going to be the fact that there is no pictures or no video that you can watch. It's just going to be something you listen to. But I think in time, you'll grow to like that. All right, this is about the New International Version. Why this version? I chose this, actually this version chose me, but I stuck with this version. I could have gotten a different version of the Bible to read from, but I felt like if I'm introducing this to people that have absolutely no idea what they're getting into, or they haven't read the Bible at all, the King James Version, New King James Version, and several other versions are a little harder to understand, and I feel like the New International Version stuck to, it retains the authenticity of the Bible. It stays true to the words, to the translation. And I'll go ahead and read some of that so you can understand. But the New International Version, it's a completely new translation of the Holy Bible made by over 100 scholars working directly from the best available Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek text. It had its beginning in 1965 when a group of scholars met at Palos Heights, Illinois, and concurred in the need for a new translation of the Bible in contemporary English. This group, though not made up of official church representatives, was trans-denominational. Its conclusion was endorsed by a large number of leaders from many denominations who met in Chicago in 1966. Responsibility for the new version was delegated by the Palos Heights group to a self-governing body of 15, the Committee on Bible Translation, composed for the most part of biblical scholars from colleges, universities, and seminaries. In 1967, the New York Bible Society, now called the International Bible Society, generously undertook the financial sponsorship of the project, a sponsorship that made it possible to enlist the help of many distinguished scholars. The fact that participants from the United States, Great Britain, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand worked together gave the project its international scope. that they were from many denominations, including Anglican, Assemblies of God, Baptist, Brethren, Christian Reformed, Church of Christ, Evangelical Free, Lutheran, Mennonite, Methodist, Nazarene, Presbyterian, Wesleyan, and other churches, helped to safeguard the translation from sectarian bias. How it was made helps to give the New International Version its distinctiveness. The translation of each book was assigned to a team of scholars. Next, one of the intermediate editorial committees revised the initial translation with constant reference to the Hebrew, Aramaic, or Greek. Their work then went to one of the general editorial committees, which checked it in detail and made another thorough revision. This revision, in turn, was carefully reviewed by the Committee on Bible Translation, which made further changes and then released the final version for publication. In this way, the entire Bible underwent 3 revisions, during each of which the translation was examined for its faithfulness to the original languages and for its English style. All this involved many thousands of hours of research and discussion regarding the meaning of the text and the precise way of putting them into English. It may well be that no other translation has been made by a more thorough process of review and revision from committee to committee than this one. From the beginning of the project, the Committee on Bible Translation, held certain goals for the New International Version, that it would be an accurate translation and one that would have clarity and literary quality and so prove suitable for public and private reading, teaching, preaching, memorizing, and so on. The committee also sought to preserve some measure of continuity with a long tradition of translating the scriptures into English. In working toward these goals, the translators were united in their commitment to authority and infallibility of the Bible as God's Word in written form. They believe that it contains a divine answer to the deepest needs of humanity, that it sheds unique light on our path in a dark world, and that it sets forth the way to our eternal well-being. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I chose me, the New International Version as the Bible that I would like to read in its entirety, along with all of the study notes on YouTube for the world to hear. So please help make my dream a reality and share if you are interested or if you like what you hear. Share with friends, family, Facebook. There's several different media outlets, well, not media outlets, but outlets that you can do it on, but share away. I would really appreciate it. And if you would like to, you can subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be trying to put out as much as I can, as fast as I can. In the beginning, I was actually just going to read the New Testament first, but what I decided to do is that I'm going to do the New Testament and the Old Testament simultaneously, because Genesis has such cool stuff, and especially in the study notes, talking about how the earth was created, and I just feel like maybe, I don't know if maybe you came into this and I've already recorded the entire Bible, and you can go at it however you'd like. A suggestion that I have is to make sure that you're following along. You can put it on your to watch list or watch later list, and then as you watch it, it'll go off the list, and then you just keep, following up with that. But you can, I would suggest starting at the New Testament, but I'm going to be doing simultaneously the New and the Old. So I hope you follow me on my journey. I really appreciate it. And this is certainly better than a 17-minute video. I'm only at 8.5 minutes. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so we begin. And next I will be reading the introduction to Matthew.